Donald J. Trump and the First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump.
That is what I call great talent. Thank you very much. Great talent. Thank you. Well, we did it. We did. We began this journey, and they said we and me, we didn't have a chance, but we knew we were going to win, and we won. And today we had a great day. People that weren't so nice to me were saying that we did a really good job today. They hated to do it, but they did it. And I respect that. I respect that. But I have to say, the crowd was unbelievable today. You know, I looked at the rain, which just never came. You know, we finished the speech, went inside, it poured, then we came outside. The helicopter scene was an incredible scene, so beautiful. Like from a movie set, so beautiful. And then, amazingly, it rained, and then we went out. It's like God was looking down on us, I will tell you. I want to thank all of our supporters. My number one supporter, Melania, what she puts up with. Oh, thank you, honey. No, we really did something that's so special. And this evening is so special. And this whole day and yesterday, so incredible. So many people made such a difference. Vice President Mike Pence, no more elect, was incredible. And all of the people, you're gonna see things happening over the next few weeks. Oh, you're gonna be so happy. You're gonna be. Because, you know, they're very elegant people tonight, but they're also very political people, right? We want to see great things happen for our country. We want to make America great again, and we will. And we will. So now it's a tremendous honor to have the first dance with Melania. And we're going to be joined by our Vice President. We're going to be joined by some very wonderful, wonderful children as we go along. They happen to be my children and Mike's children. And I just want to, again, I want to thank everybody. We always felt we were going to do it. It's a movement like they've never seen anywhere, at any time, anywhere in the world. This was a movement. And now the work begins. Now the work begins. There's no games, right? No games, right? We're not playing games. The work begins. I want to thank everybody. We love you. We're going to be working for you, and we're going to be producing results. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you. Thank you.
And now, the President and First Lady of the United States will take their first dance. Ladies and gentlemen, the first couple, Donald and Melania Trump.
The end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
My friend, I'll say it clear,
to do and saw it through without exemption.
I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, much more than this. I did it my way.
Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. And did it
The 45th President of the United States, the new First Lady, and the new First Family. Our first look at them all on a stage together with the Vice President and his family. dancing to Frank Sinatra's My Way. Derek Blasberg from CNN Style. I cannot think of a more appropriate song for this 45th president, Donald Trump, who became the 45th president by doing it his way. There were advisors all along the way who said, you can't do that, you can't do this. There were pundits many who said, look, it doesn't work this way, it's not going to work out. He did it the way he wanted to do it, and his inaugural dress today. What do you make of the fashions? You know who they were wearing. I'm sure a lot of people would like to know.
So everyone is on bated breath to see what Melania and Ivanka are going to wear. And we're getting in through the wire now that Ivanka is in Carolina Herrera. We're still waiting for a moment on Melania, but I think they actually look fantastic. There's a big sort of risk with this sort of event and that sort of glamorous female of it skewing more coronation and inauguration. But it was a little bit subdued. It was a little bit, it was still conservative. There wasn't too much cleavage, so to speak. They both look very elegant. Ivanka's
very modern, and it does, I mean, much of what she wears is sort of subdued. It's sort of refined, and there's less, there's not a lot of frills. I mean, today, or the Ralph Lauren outfit she was wearing was very, very simple, harkening back to Jacqueline Kennedy.
I think it's clever that, especially in the case of Ivanka, who wore Oscar this morning in Carolina Herrera.
Oscar de la Renta.
Oscar de la Renta this morning in Carolina Herrera this evening, is that they're really trying to drive home this idea of American designers. You know, I think there was a lot of hesitation, and there was a lot of worry that one of them were going to choose to wear a European designer, because especially leading up to the inauguration, a lot of European-based designers said they didn't understand what the big controversy was about dressing Melania and Ivanka. Giorgio Armani recently said he would be happy to dress Melania. So I think there's a sense of relief from the New York fashion community that we're not celebrating sort of an outsider or non-American designer. And I'll be curious to see who actually made Melania's dress.
Oscar de la Renta has been worn by other First Ladies also in the past. I think Carolina Herrera as well, I'm sure.
Oscar de la Renta he dressed Laura Bush in 2005 and Hillary Clinton in 1997. Help me out, Kate. I'm on the spot. I feel like
I was thinking about...
point out that he passed away last year.
He passed away in 2014.
Yeah, was it 2014 already?
And curiously, on Ivanka's blog, I recently looked up, she made a tribute, because at the Savannah College of Art and Design, they did sort of a tribute to him. And
he was a lovely man. I mean, such a gracious guy, an incredible gentleman, born in the Dominican Republic, but an American through and through.
And speaking of bipartisan, he's one of the few designers that can, much like Ralph today, claim he dressed First Ladies on both the Republican and Democratic side of the aisle.
Michelle Obama didn't wear his clothes for 7 years, and she got into some trouble for that. She kind of didn't want to be this traditional First Lady. She mixed designers like Jason Wu and the J. Crew cardigans. I think it's really interesting to see this kind of sleek, modern look that Melania is carrying off in the way that only a former supermodel really could. And I think Ivanka looks beautiful, too. I mean, this is their moment to shine. I think that, you can't stress how important it is to wear an American designer, like you were saying. Jackie Kennedy, when she would wear these Chanel suits, got into a lot of trouble for going to Europe and spending so much money. And she would even have labels sewn into the suits of American designers so that it would seem like she was wearing American clothes.
Well, the idea of dancing in public is one of my greatest fears, so I give them huge props for doing that, pulling that off. And I thought it was so lovely to have all the kids coming out and join them. You really get a sense of the family, the history that is now part of this administration. Let's go back to Aaron, who is standing by. Aaron?
All right, Anderson, well, obviously we're sitting here talking about the fashion here, the dresses. I'm with Kate Butts, Dana Bash. Kate, obviously Melania looks gorgeous in anything she wears. As we were saying, anyone who could wear white.
Especially that kind of sleek dress.
And with the sticking out part in the front. I mean, she's an absolutely stunning woman. She's a model. It looks absolutely amazing on her, but we don't yet know the designer.
We don't know the designer, but we know it's an American probably, because they've been wearing American designers all day and kind of paying tribute to the American fashion business. But it's a beautiful dress, and of course white symbolizes new beginnings and a kind of fresh start. And of course Michelle Obama also wore white on her first inaugural. So it feels feels very much like a wedding or a prom. It's, you know, it's very...
But so modern and elegant.
Yes.
I mean, we wouldn't expect anything very
different.
modern. So very
sleek.
modern. Yeah, very modern. And all clean lines. And I love doing this. I never get to do this. Except with my girlfriends at home on the couch watching the red carpet. Yeah. It's true. And then when all of the rest of the couples came out, as strange as that was in some ways, it did sort of look, we were saying, a bit like a wedding. Yeah, they all had gorgeous dresses on, but sort of the struggle. We do know Ivanka was wearing Carolina Herrera. We don't know anyone else yet. Carolina Herrera dress that she was wearing. I mean, now I'm totally in your lane. But the others had similar looks. I wonder if they coordinated that. I'm guessing they did a little bit. It looks like they did.
I'm sure they did, because it's so much like a tableau. I was actually saying this yesterday. Oleg Cassini, who designed Jackie's clothes, you know, always said that he dressed her like she was in a tableau. And of course, he was a costume designer for Paramount, so that made sense. And he always imagined her on a stage or in a movie. And this is kind of what that's like too. You know, it's a set piece.
And obviously she's wearing the off the shoulder, wearing her hair down. She wore it up earlier today. You know, it seems like a thought went into all aspects of this. I also think as someone, you know, you're not wearing sleeves, I am. There's different styles this year. And two of the women, I think, were wearing sleeves. Yes. Ivanka with that very sheer sleeve, and one of the other women as well. So.
Yeah, listen, the Trump family, they are nothing if the top of this style. I mean, they are the creme de la creme when it comes to being fashion forward. It's who they are. It's their brand. Yeah. Right? Their brand is to be as au courant as possible, and they just proved it.
And they're bringing in New York glamour to Washington, much in the same way that Nancy Reagan brought Hollywood glamour to Washington.
We were also saying, Dana, actually,
we welcome that as a Washingtonian. Come on down.
And I know, obviously, we're talking about the dress, but Donald Trump himself, Dana and I were just mentioning as he walked out, that was a very slimming tuxedo on Donald Trump, not his usual style where he wears the bigger jackets.
No, absolutely not. I don't remember, have we ever seen him without the long tie, either the red or the blue tie? I mean, I guess occasionally when he goes casual, he wears the jacket and the tieless, but his jackets are always very large, very sort of Trumpian 1980s, and this was different. I mean, I guess in a tuxedo, it's very difficult to do that, and this was more modern than we've seen. But can we just also talk about the dancing?
The dancing. The swaying, you mean?
The swaying. The stepping. Side
I
to
told
side.
you he didn't want to practice, okay? But he did a good sway.
He didn't want to practice. You were right. You had a very good source on that. Yeah. Because if that was practice, you know, listen, we want to be respectful. It was beautiful. It was a wonderful moment. But, you know, as a 7-year-old man, you would think that he had some practice in his life.
Yeah, right, exactly. He probably has danced before. I mean,
taken up the dance floor.
She has this big, you know, obviously we don't yet know the designer, Kate, but this big moment in front of her, right? There's been a lot of controversy. You've had some designers, Carolina Herrera among them, who have said, you know, I would be thrilled to dress her. Tommy Hilfiger had said that. There are other designers, of course, who have said absolutely not. This has become a way we see the fault line. A lot of the people in the New York fashion community will probably be here tomorrow. Marching in the parade that is in opposition to Trump. Right. Yet Melania Trump is here as someone who has the ability to move billions of dollars. Yes. Michelle Obama, right, would wear J. Crew and all of a sudden it would sell out. Melania Trump has a similar ability. Yes. She can wear absolutely anything. This is a big opportunity for her, right? I mean, she could pick a designer no one had heard of and turn them into someone if she so chose.
Yes. Which is what Michelle Obama did, right?
Yes, Michelle Obama did do that, but she also wore clothing from J. Crew and Target, clothes that were very accessible to a broader audience. So that was something that also helped generate, obviously, a lot of business for those retailers.
But she picked Jason Wu out of obscurity back in 2009, right?
Many designers out of obscurity. Also, Isabel
Jason
Toledo.
Wu was the one who designed her ball gown.
That's right. Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Could you ever see her doing that mix of high and low, though? I mean, it certainly doesn't seem to fit with what we have seen so far. She's always absolutely perfect looking, but most of the clothes are incredibly expensive and often European.
Yes, but I don't know if she could do it, but it is a tradition of the White House of the First Lady that goes all the way back to Dolly Madison, who kind of was really the first Lady, and she wore very grand European clothes, silk turbans, kind of outrageous things, but mix them with much more accessible, approachable clothes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Dolly Madison did that?
She was very famous for that, yeah. and she was known as Queen Dolly because she was this beloved First Lady who entertained a lot and was very close to the people. And she's also the First Lady who began the inaugural ball tradition.
And the other thing, of course, was then when they all appeared on that stage.
Yes.
How unusual that moment was, right? And they did bring the Pence family out as well, but it was, again, as I had said earlier in the evening, you know, as I was told, this event, these parties, they are a family affair. He does not view this as Donald J. Trump only. He views it very much as a family affair.
Well, and also, if you think about the last, you know, few presidents that we've had, I guess going back to Reagan and then George H.W. Bush, they did have adult children who could come up and do this. But I don't remember them doing it. Correct me if I'm wrong. With the Clintons, they had one young daughter.